Things are getting back to normal in the city. Remember this time last week, hard to believe it, bars were closed and Bourbon and Frenchman were shut down. There were 4 bars quickly shut down for not following the city's rules, too.
And tonight we're getting a closer look at what happened inside of those bars thanks to body camera video WWLTV obtained. Devin Bartolotta has the story.
They're really popping in there, huh?
Midnight, February 5th, NOPD body cam footage obtained by Eyewitness News shows officers arriving to Red Eye Grill on St. Peter's and discovering the front door was shut with a 2x4 and padlocks. And inside, an egregious break of COVID guidelines, a packed bar of unmasked young people who begin booing when police shut the party down. The same night, a similar story at TJ Quill's, which was serving customers indoors.
So we're going to have to shut it down temporarily?
And at the District Lounge, lots of indoor drinkers.
Yeah, we're closing it down right now.
A manager there pushed back, saying staff was just trying to make ends meet.
People aren't going to have a job next week, so just making sure that our people don't lose their housing, food for their kids, stuff like that.
But District and every other that police busted that night cleared out. Red Eye's management declined an interview, saying they've had their hearing and have moved on. However, they added they will not be reopening until it's both safe and profitable to do so. Police also shut down Caddy Corner that weekend, which also had its front doors locked.
Why are they trying to pretend like they're not open?
A long night for police and a long year for bar owners, deciding whether to abide by the rules or break them to break even.
I got employees there to eat, and I got rent I got to pay, though.
Devin Bartolotta, Eyewitness News.